There we go. All right. I think we are live. So I'll just wait a few minutes while everybody gets started or files in. Um, yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm just watching on my other monitor here. For everybody who is joining me, today is going to be a live stream paint and sip. So I have my sip, which it's the middle of the day, so not exactly a red wine. And then we are going to be painting this scene here. And this is actually a real place. This is actually a couple miles from my house in a park. And I think I took it early summer. So it's not AI. I know I'm going to eventually get that comment. So I will leave that up for now. And oops. There we go. There we go. All right. Now I do have a new setup that I'm kind of playing with here. So there's going to be quite a few glitches. It's all part of the fun. All right. So let's see. All right. Now I'm going to just start getting set up with my paint while people file in, like I said. And if you come in later, well, you won't know this. Actually, ask me questions as we go. But for the most part, I'm going to be painting, so I'm going to be focused on that. All right, so for the grass area, I'm starting with sap green, a little bit of that, and then I'm mixing in a little bit of permanent green. Doesn't really matter what you use as long as it looks correct to you. All right, and just kind of laying out the ground rules for today. It's your style, your art, so I want you to use your favorite media, so your favorite paint, your favorite brushes, whatever you want to use. I'm going to be doing a mixed media, so it's going to be some archival paper that I have laying around and then acrylic paint. So trying to keep it simple if you want to follow along with me. And what I'm going to do here is focus on when you're looking at this image, I'm going to focus on those tall flowers and then just kind of mix and match the clouds. And I'm not going to, this is not me trying to recreate this scene. It's going to be a mixed media, but an abstract interpretation of that scene. So you can follow along with that. And I'm going to start with the grass. And so let me switch everything up here. And I'll leave that scene up while people start filing in. All right, so I'm loosely mixing my two greens together, and I'm going to use this flat brush and just start kind of filling in this area here with the green. And eventually we're going to have kind of the same slope down the side here. So I'm going to start off just kind of loosely marking out where I want the slope to start and stop, and kind of a middle area for it. I am painting on what once was the lid to a container It is bamboo, so just using that as a panel. So this is generally the area where I'll be painting, the green at least. Now the blue, I'm going to do kind of a entire field of the for the blue, and then the clouds will actually be paper, I believe. I actually did have some blue. Oh, hey, welcome to the stream. So we have some new people on the stream, so welcome first of all. And uh, this is the scene that we're going to be painting. It is actually, let me turn off this webcam here. There we go. So now this is the photo that I'm using as the prompt. And what I'm focusing on are those two tall flowers. You'll see in a minute why, and then kind of mixing and matching the sky. My piece will be a mixed media, but an abstract of this. So my goal is not to recreate the scene. So, but welcome Emery and welcome Ginger Snaps. And like I had said in the instructional video, this is where you grab your your favorite media, your favorite tools, and you paint in your style. And I would love to see what you paint afterwards. Hey, Anatox. I hope I'm saying that right. All right. Yep, I am. Okay. Anyway. And then if you want after this, if you want to share, my community tab is open for you to post in there. And I'd love to see what you create. So what I'm focusing on, like I said, is those two tall flowers on the right side. And then I'm using archival paper. Here, let me actually get back on camera. Okay. There we go. I'm using archival paper. You can use whatever you want. If you want to follow along with me, I'm doing acrylic and paper. And again, an abstract mixed media piece. And it is a paint and sip. So I have my beverage here of choice. There is about a 3 or so second delay. So if I don't get to your question immediately, that's what's going on. Or if, yeah, that should work out. Anyway, so some of the tools I'm using, I have my brushes, and to put the paper on, I have tweezers standing by for the small pieces, a hole punch for some round pieces. Then I'm kind of picturing round shapes with kind of a painted background, a lot of texture. We'll see how far I can get in an hour on that. Usually I can get pretty far, but the details will be subsequent, either a subsequent stream, or I'll finish it up off and post that later. Also, I am trying a new setup, so we'll see how the glitches go. But I'm trying a new setup where I'm have kind of everything configured differently as far as cameras go. So this is where I've started. I'm trying to follow along with that slope of the hill. So I've just kind of lightly marked out where the top will be, the middle, and the bottom of that slope. Let me know if you have questions as we go. I'm pretty much going to be focused on painting, but I'll glance over every once in a while and see if there's any questions. So right now I'm just starting with green, but what I want to do now that I've marked this out is I'm going to fill in the sky area and with some blue and start letting that dry as we go. So I have little bits of blue left. By the way, if you don't have one of those palettes with like a lid to keep your paint wet while you're away from it, I save these because especially the larger metal tubes are only crimped at the bottom, and you can actually reopen them and fill them up and store whatever paint you've mixed in those. All right. All right, so I only have this one kind of a medium blue, so I mixed it with a ton of white. I tend to over mix the amount of paint that I need, which is why I also store it later in these empty tubes. But we'll just kind of start off with this. Now I'm painting on what once was the lid to a container. It's bamboo. I believe it's bamboo. Yeah, we'll go with bamboo. Anyway, and because I'm out of canvases, but also, you know, it's a great way to give this a second life. This is also why I'm only focusing on half of this image, because my surface is square and it is, the wrong aspect for this image. How's the weather by everybody? Are you all nice and warm and kind of safe indoors? All right. All right, so I'll let that set up for a while and we'll go to the green. One thing that I like to do is kind of loose mixes of the colors. It's a really quick way to get, to get kind of a nice blend or a nice mix on the canvas or on your surface. I tend to be very impatient. Welcome back. Let's see. Whoa, Boston's getting 30 inches today and tomorrow. Yeah, I definitely would do laundry and everything before in case you lose power, but hopefully you don't. Hopefully you get to stay nice and warm. Well, I'm glad you can get away from dealing with all that weather today, Ginger Snaps. All right, so if you want to see what I'm doing, so I have a kind of a loose mix of these greens, and this will be kind of the background base for my grass area. The trick is to keep it a loose mix while it's going onto the canvas. or the board. Oh, hot chocolate sounds good. Actually, I had some earlier. Well, I had a part of a hot chocolate earlier. I'm I'm finding that I'm not into sugar so much anymore, which is kind of sad. Uh, I suppose. Only sad in that, you're looking forward to that hot chocolate and then you get it and it's just not what you remember. Let me know if you want to see a larger view of what I'm doing. Otherwise, I was planning on just leaving the image up for you all to follow. And as I said this earlier, but I don't know who's didn't hear me. This is actually a photo I took a few summers ago. It's a park a couple of miles from my house, and I think it was like June. It was either late spring or very early summer, I believe. It's a whole series that I took when I was on a bike ride with my daughter. I like how this is starting. Um, I think it needs something. Hey, Yaz, welcome to the club or the party. All right, I'm gonna leave this edge here. I'm gonna paint over that as kind of more of a frame later. I feel like it needs. I need to fix the sky here. Now, if I can get to it on the stream, this is going to be kind of that subtle umbra effect that you see there. We'll see how far I get. All right. So now I'm going to move on. I'm going to decide, do I want to think before I move on too quickly? Let's work on the sky a little bit more and make that kind of give it that lighter blue at the bottom. Now, I mentioned earlier that I save these metal paint tubes um, to store any of the colors that I've mixed. And I like if I can't get like a color that's close to the mix that I have, I like to save the white tubes because at least, well, I normally add white to things, so it's usually something I can use. And the great thing about these tubes is they're only crimped at the bottom with a little bit of cement. So if you can't pull it open, you can just cut off the bottom and pop it open and fill up the tube and just kind of recrimp it. So these are nice to have around. Well, that sucks. All right. Okay, so I think while I let this dry, I'm going to work on some of the flowers. My plan for them is kind of, like I said, earlier abstracts. So a lot of circles, things like that. I'm going to start with, before the paint dries too much, I'm going to start with some of the more purple flowers that you see in there. I'm pointing like you can see me, but either way, the purple that you're seeing in there. And I'm just using a hole punch and some purple cardstock. This is where my tweezers come in. I think we'll go here. Now, if you're wondering, no, I have no plan for this piece. It's just going to be what it's going to be. This is just time to kind of play and relax and hang out. Okay, so in a way, this piece is kind of a memory of kind of simpler times, I guess. But looking back, it's just our daughter's starting to get ready to head off to school, and kind of the world is a little messy these days. Trying to be relaxed and about it, but anyway, this piece is really kind of that whole kind of childlike, happy, simple, everything in the world's kind of easy and simple kind of thought behind it. So we're going to go with that kind of aesthetic. I would call it whimsical if I was talking to a client. All right. To define the stems, I'm going to play around with a little brown in the green just to darken it. Hopefully it doesn't turn too muddy. And by a little, I mean just like a drop. So it's... There we go. Well, it's not quite showing up. This might be one of those details I have to add later when it's dried. Otherwise it's mixing in. All right, so now I've been kind of eager to get to these yellow flowers. So I'm just going to use yellow cardstock here. This is, again, archival. but kind of you can use whatever you want unless you're expecting this to last for 100 years. So if you're watching what I'm doing, for the most part, I make it up as I go. Like I said, don't have a plan, and I kind of size things just by kind of getting closer and closer, kind of as the woodworkers that I watch on YouTube say, kind of sneaking up to that cut. So just kind of. That's about right. Oh yeah, ginger snaps. Uh, nobody ever said the sky had to be blue. It could be a light orange for all you know. Well, I guess that'd be sunset. So yeah, play with it. This is time for fun experiments, playing around. And let me know if you want music, like, so the next time I do one of these, if you want music in the background, let me know. Sometimes I find it helps me to think, and sometimes I find it really distracting. So let me know how that works for you. All right. All right. I'm also seeing a lot of kind of yellow, a ton of those little yellow in the grass area as well. So let's start putting some of those in there. Actually, no one said we had to follow the rules. Why don't we, I'm going to put some, yeah, I have some pink we can put in there instead. The screen might be dry. No, it'll still hold. How's everybody doing? So you'll probably know, well, I'm actually in my house, so let me know if you can hear any of the background noise that's going on. There, of course, there are other people who are living here, so uh, they might be doing things in the background. But uh, my studio space is basically half of our garage, and it is, I believe, 10 degrees right now. So my little space heater that I have is not going to be able to keep up. You know what? I think I'm going to do another tall one here. Let's do that. Yeah. Uh, but, welcome to Chicago. I don't know which is worse because in the summer it can get up to like 90 degrees in there. So I kind of have, 6 months out of the year where I can use my studio space 100% of the time. Actually, let's do a bunch of these for the rest of the grass area. All right, I think what I'd like to do now is kind of fluff in some clouds up here. Get some texture going up at the top, especially before I forget to do that and look at the painting later and wonder what's it missing. Let's see, I have a little white left in this tube. So I'll go with that. And then the smallest dot of Mars Black to make some gray, just to give them some definition. And normally what I do for that is, again, it's just like a loose mix of the colors. The trick is to get the Mars Black to blend in enough that it's a nice gray instead of getting like streaks of black in there, which is really easy to do. And then normally what I do is just kind of lay the paint on there, and then I'll form it into the shape I want later. And just kind of push it around. So something like that. And this painting has very quickly become kind of a, I don't know if you ever remember those color forms, those kind of vinyl clings with the little books. But it's becoming very much kind of that childhood uh, children's book kind of look to it. I don't know if that will change as I keep kind of working on this, but that's where we're headed right now. Oh, thanks, Yaz. It's it's coming together, I think. Yeah, even though you can't paint right now, I'm glad you could join us. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. Is there any paint left in this thing? Let's find out. Nope. All right. Oh, hey, Lego Garden Club. No, these are they might be sunflower. No, I think they're I don't know what they are. They're all wildflowers. This is a hill at a park couple miles from my house. It's kind of I'm going to say it's late spring, early summer, maybe the first week of June. But yeah, I don't know what kind of flowers these are. Um but yeah, I love this spot. It's like a I mean, it looks fake even when you're there. It's so perfect. It's yeah, amazing. But yeah, feel free to get started. And um, I was gonna spend. Oh, what time is it? Oh, yeah, we could spend like another 15 minutes, and then I have to end the stream after that. But I've also invited everybody to, no matter what you've painted, post it in the community tab. Oh, they are sunflowers. Great. Okay. Yes, they're sunflowers. I totally knew that. Um, yeah. But yeah, feel free to post whatever you've painted in the community tab. And then if you'd like, since this is my photo and I can do whatever I want with it, I will post this also in my community tab. So if you want to keep working, you'll have it as a reference. All right. It looks like I mixed just enough of the white and gray, which is kind of a first for me. Normally I'll mix so much that I have to store it. All right. All right. I think we can see if this area down here is dry enough that I can actually start painting in the stems for all of these stalks, stems, your choice. So this is my green. Yep, that works. This is my green with a little bit of brown in it mix. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the green on the bottom. I'm starting to see that it's almost the same color, which might not be so bad. But I can always paint over it later once this all dries. Yeah, that's not working, so There. Yeah, I feel like this is going to need to be painted over. This is why I actually normally, actually I found some earlier. This is why I normally use copper wire on things. I feel like it stands out. It gives it a lot of texture, and I haven't run out of it yet. We're getting close, but um, all right. I'm starting to think that going to I'm going to replace these with paper stems. I think that's a good idea. But I'm not going to do that today because I have to let this all dry, kind of paint over this a little bit. But yeah. All right. Would anybody like to see anything else? Do you want to stay on a little bit longer? Because I was actually going to end the stream originally at 3, but we can stay on a few more minutes. I can paint this edge here and kind of make a frame for it, and then go back in and start kind of working on this center area here off camera or in another video. Let me know. In the meantime, making the executive decision of just painting a border around this because I have a ton of blue, and I think that's a nice direction to head for this. Why not? I think this is something that I can turn into prints, and this green is still wet. Yeah, I think this is something I can turn into prints later, and like kind of a kids' room idea or something like that. So I'll keep the texture low on this, except for these clouds, and that makes it easier to print. Now, since you're on the stream, thanks, Ginger Snaps. Since you're on the stream, you're going to be the first to hear. So what I've done is a lot of my art is really heavy texture or dimensional. So what I've done is I've chosen 4 different paintings and redrew them digitally so that I can make some prints from them. And I will share those in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to finalize one of them I'm just not happy with, but those will be available. Like I said, I'm going to share them in a couple of weeks and get some pre-orders going, and then those will be available soon after that. I'm considering 2 lines of them. One is going to be just like a regular print, but then I'm going to do a very small number of them that are going to be signed. I'll sign them and date or number them. So this is kind of all stuff I'm working on, so more details will follow. But if you're interested and you want to get early access, um, I actually am starting an email, um, which I thought I'd never do, but I'm starting an email list. So if you go to my website, I guess I can put this all in the description for this video later. But if you go to my website and sign up for the collector's list, you'll get an email when those come out, and you'll kind of be the first to know. So, all right. Well, I'm going to shut down the stream now. Like I said, what I will do is I will post this image in my community tab when after this stream, so you can keep working if you want. And I would, like I said, I'd love to see what you've painted or what you're working on. So if you want to post that in the community tab, that'd be great too. But I want to thank you all for stopping by, and thank you all for supporting my channel. And stay warm, stay and enjoy your hot chocolate if you have it, but stay warm. And I will talk to you all later. Yeah, I never know how to end these things. Here, I'll go. Here we go. All right. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you all later.